Big cat, how you came to be is no longer a mystery. Black sheep is your birthright. It's code for the one who brings the light. I bet if there's a crack, you don't fall back. Remember who you are. No rest for the wicked with their skullduggery. The use spell workers' projection to send out envy, hate, and jealousy. You are the prototype, your ancestors champion. They shield you and send back those spiritual attacks. You are divinely protected from the dummy bats. Yeah. Big cat, the most high, got your back. He sits high and looks low, so don't get smoked or smoke yourself. Big cat, move in silence. Only time you speak is to say checkmate.
Namaste! Grand Rising, Big Cat. Welcome, or welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555. For your message or massages, come in! Come on! I've got intel. Recon is afoot. Energies, up, up, up. I insist. Let's dive in, darling dears, and unpack. Wow. I meant for it to fall in the grid and it fell outside the grid, so we can't be using those numbers, darling dears. We got to put them back. Good golly and gosh. You have the energy of Perthro. This is represented by the High Priestess in Tarot, darling dears. But it's in the reverse. So it speaks about somebody is feeling lonely within their addictions, darling dears. The High Priestess is represented by moon energy. It could be a female or a mother energy. It also speaks about lean in, bestie, lean in. Somebody whose intuition is blocked at this moment in time. Yes, lots of cloudiness, confusion. But it can also speak about brain fog. Somebody's going through brain fog at this moment in time. This is part of a spiritual ascension. Remember, I told you that. If you are not drinking that alcohol and you're not getting to the Bob Marleys or whatever it is, and you are feeling foggy in your cranium, it's part of your ascension. Good golly and gosh. Moon energy. Okay. So your birthday could be the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th, or the 29th, darling dears. You are a natural empath. Remember I told you, and a healer. The High Priestess being in the reverse. This is just it's just information to let you know, darling dears, that you're not alone and you are on the right path. I hope you heard everything I was saying. I just realized I hadn't plugged the microphone in, but everything is for reasons. Listen, the enemy doesn't want me to get this message out. Many of you are going through this feeling of ascension, darling dears, the brain fog, unsure, uncertainty, questioning yourself, your path and everything is all part of your ascension, darling dears. Divine wants you to hold on. And remember, it's a significant time we're going through. We've got the full moon lunar eclipse in Libra on the 25th. We've also got the new moon solar eclipse in Aries on the 8th of April. I also believe around the 8th of April this year is when the biggest transfer of generational wealth is going to occur. So if you're into cryptocurrency, you better get to it, darling dears. AI utilities, air, AI, and all of the above. And it doesn't matter what you put towards it, darling dears. You will definitely have a return, but 100%. Perthro is represented by the letter P, darling dears. The moon itself, the moon is represented by the letters B, K, and R. Okay, the moon also represents, as I said, or I didn't say, or I'm telling you now, represents the number 2, darling dears. And the number 2 represents the letters B, K, T. So you've got B, K, T and B, K, R, as well as the letter P. Your luckiest day of the next few days will be Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, and Monday. Numbers to be avoided are the numbers 5 and 7. Your luckiest numbers or a combination of them will be 1, 2, 4, 6, and 8. It speaks about you reaping the benefit of your past efforts, darling dears. You don't see it coming. But this is a spiritual upgrade. This is an ascension upgrade for you, darling dears. Good golly and gosh. That's a lot, mate. It's a lot. Let's put Perfora right here so that we don't forget. Pardon me, that was a spiritual belch because I speaks the truth. Roof, pinkies up. This is not the time for you to doubt your path, darling dears. This is the time for you to dig deep and know that everything is about to be revealed. The true for you. Pinkies up. You are a light worker starseed, darling dears. You came here to what? Uplift the vibration on this Malkuth throughout the age of Aquarius. I've told you many times, you have 64 ancestors at your beck and call. The culmination of what it took to get you here at this time. You are volunteer, darling dears, and this is your last rodeo on this Malkuth. This is why you are having these issues at this moment in time. You've always been highly intuitive, darling dear, high priestess energy, but you've doubted your gifts because of the environments that you're in. Not only that, the path you've chosen. If you've chosen a spiritual path, you could be a reader. Whatever you're doing, it's with spirituality oh my God, Mercury retrograde, Lama tongue. It's got spirituality at the crux of it, darling dears. You are a natural born leader, highly intuitive. The High Priestess in reverse, you can also speak about what negative energies that are being sent to you at this moment in time. The High Priestess, as we know, is moon, but it's water energy, darling dears. And it being in the upright, the High Priestess is telling you secrets. Divine is telling you not to keep this newfound knowledge which is about to be bestowed on you to yourself. You have to put it out there. The energy of the 2 speaks about that you being patient, a natural, how can I put it? A natural born leader, darling dears. The power behind the throne. This reading is going to be about the 2nd house, darling dears. The number 2 is the 2nd house. It's about your skills. It's about your talents. And again, the number 2, it represents the government. As I said, darling dears, we are going to experience the major transfer of wealth around the 8th of April 2024. Between the 8th and I go from the 2 to the 20th. Okay then. All right. This is about you being able to what? Receive things that are going to enable you to meet your material and non-material needs. You being extremely resourceful. Why? The 2nd house is across from the 8th house, darling dears. The 8th house of what? Karmic debt. But it's also about what you've had to let go and overcome to be in this position. The 8th house also speaks about the assets that are coming your way. These are spiritual assets which you're going to be able to use to what further solidify your foundation, darling dears. Okay, the 2nd house is ruled by Venus and Taurus, and Venus is abundance, darling dears. Abundance on every level. Remember, I told you that. It also speaks about beauty, but it also speaks about knowing your worth, darling dears. Venus is also the ruler of the arts. You may be an artist, or how you do your work is like artistry, darling dears. And it's also a reminder of what? The fog. Don't let nobody take you off your gangster or try to coerce you into changing anything to do with your gangster. What got you to this point, darling dears? Because what they can't imitate, what they can't break, they try to interrupt. Yeah. Don't take on anyone else's words or actions. You continue being you on this path. This brain fog will pass, but you'll be going through this brain fog, this cognitive dissonance from now until the solar eclipse on the 8th of April, darling dears. Very important. I've already put in I've already put up the full moon lunar eclipse as well as the new moon solar eclipse, darling dears, in Aries. Go and watch it, please. They're 2 comprehensive videos. It speaks about on your sun, moon, and rising sign. I usually, if I'm going to read a horoscope read, I always read for my rising sign, which is Taurus, darling dears. Go and read it for your rising sign on both the lunar eclipse as well as the solar eclipse. Those are the two combined energies that you have in your what? Artillery, darling dears. It will help you through this brain fog and make you realize what path you are actually on. Love you too, darling dear. Mind how you go. Text me when you get there. Okay. All right. Let's press on, darling dears. These are listen, it's like it's taking my ability to speak. I know we're almost in Mercury retrograde in Aries, but good golly and gosh, we've started the priest shadow. I've got 2 different decks and the cards jumped out to show you that, darling. If you'd like to procure them, please follow the link in the description box below. But let's turn them round. Whistleblower, and we've got Capricorn energy, Capricorn, Taurus and Virgo, the 10th house. Number 10 is also the 10th house. This is about your reputation and it's about your status, darling dears. You're about to attain something on this Malkuth, but it's going to be in the public eye. Why? The 10th house also what represents the government. Listen, if there was ever a time for you to get into that crypto, darling dears, now would be your time. It also tells me that you are an expert in a field. This goes from what, 9 to 10? Or is it 10 to 9? Good golly and gosh, it could be a time, something significant, darling dears. The 9 and the 10 is significant to somebody watching this read. Capricorn energy. I keep saying Capricorn, but it's not just Capricorn, right? Keep saying Capricorn, Freudian slip, that's Saturn energy. It's about the rules and regulations, darling dears, but it's also about you what? Breaking through that glass ceiling, the limitations that's been placed on you on this Malkuth to keep you down, not so that you won't come into your what? True self. Your true self as a light worker starseed, darling dears. Love it. I don't hate it. The moon energy also speaks about somebody's also planning to conceive around the next new moon. Well, go for it, darling dears. It will work 100%. It's also about your emotions, darling dears, your relationships, family relationships. But the energy of the moon also breathes into what? Your ancestors. Call on your ancestors at any time, especially if the brain fog gets really bad. Call them, darling dears, because you're getting downloads now, spiritual downloads, because it's upgrading your DNA. Yes, your mind, your spiritual gifts, everything is being expanded as the energy of the 2 eclipses are building up, darling dears. Yeah. And imagine the lunar eclipse is about to start right in the middle of Mercury retrograde, darling dears, in Aries. Listen, base of the deck, what did I say? Abundance is coming your way. And did we not just talk about the 2? I can't make it up, darling dears. Feminine energy. Again, feminine energy, moon energy. I believe that feminine energy, a feminine energy can truly benefit from this shift in wealth, darling dears. Many of you are going to be like, oh, I don't understand crypto. Read the white papers. I've already told you at the beginning of the read the areas that will be most beneficial to you, darling dears. Use your intuition and your discernment, because I'm telling you, if you're going through the brain fog, once you start going on one of those platforms where you can actually buy it, once you start reading the right one for you, there will be no brain fog. You'll feel it in your stomach, in your solar plexus, darling dears. You will. That butterfly feeling. Yeah. Plagiarism of the mind. What did I tell you about the brain fog? I can't make this up. Baby. Pay attention, bestie. Ascension is on the tableau, darling dears, for you. And look how it's lined up. Phoenix rising. 2 females, right? 2 of each, darling dears. The energy of the 2. Good golly and gosh. All right, 22. The master number 22 tells me that you are a master builder, darling dears. You was here to be to teach. You have the gift of communication. You are a powerful communicator, in whatever field or paradigm you find yourself in. But this is about you what? Getting the spiritual upgrade and being able to bring those ideals, this new level of ascension into physical form, darling dear. Again, this is about what? The 2nd house. Things that are material, right? And non-material, which are coming towards you. But it's about a debt being paid. You've paid off some kind of karmic debt. The energy of the 2 is also about your reputation, darling dears. You've got family people bringing down your reputation, people you saw as family. They don't like the cut of your jib, darling dears. They don't like the fact that you've managed to spread your wings and you are doing fabulous, gorgeous and lovely. Base of the deck again. Mitch can't kill your vibe. I can't make it up. On the 21 world card. People that you've ended situations and circumstances with, darling dears. They haven't forgotten you. They haven't. Right. Let's press on. Let's get the tarot out. Ow. Ow. I just cracked my fingers on the side of the cupboard. The devil is a liar. When I tell you the enemy is trying to stop me today, but you know what? I'm persistent. Tenacious. Okay. Base of the deck. What did I say? You'll be winning, darling dears. On the energy of a 7, it speaks about you going to be getting some genius level downloads, darling dears. It also speaks about you achieving a new level of knowledge and wisdom. But it's about you taking the introspection, your quiet times very seriously, because that's where you will get the most downloads, darling dears. The number 7 in numerology is ruled by, in astrological aspects, is ruled by a semi-sextile. So it speaks about what your gifts, darling dears. You came here to heal and transform, right? The energy of the 7 is ruled by Neptune, and Neptune rules Pisces, the 12th house, the house of what? Enemies, darling dears. People that wanted you to see you barking at parking cars, confined in a mental hospital, darling dear. Dribbling and coloring in crayons. Yeah. Oh, Dodo dead, because the 12th house is the house of confinement. But it also speaks about old age. Something that you're doing now, darling dears, is going to what? Boist you. Why? Because the 12 has the energy of the 2. Whatever you're doing at this moment in time is going to keep you for generations to come. What did I just tell you? A shift in generational wealth is on the table for you, darling dears. But you have to pay attention, and you have to what? Do the work for yourself. Nobody can do this for you. You are the one that's going to do it. In astrology, okay, the number 2 is represented by a conjunction, and a conjunction is what? A new beginning, darling dears. I love it. I don't hate it. Yeah, a conjunction. Why? Because the conjunction is the energy of the 1, right? So the 1, but the 2 is 1 plus 1. Okay, so we also have a conjunction as well as an opposition, darling dears. An opposition is about attracting what you truly deserve because of many separations that you had to overcome, darling dears. It also speaks about an outcome, a circumstance is about to what? Go in your favor. But it's about you tapping into your creativity and your self-expression, darling dears. As I said, whatever you're doing, it's like you're an artist at it, darling dears. An artist. Remember I told you that. Continue to listen to your intuition and discernment, and know this brain fog is about to pass. You're about to get major spiritual downloads. You're winning. The Chariot card, Cancer energy. What is Cancer? Ruled by the moon. Are we not talking about the moon, the synchronicities of it all? It speaks about your spiritual enlightenment, darling dears. And it also speaks about you will be moving on from this situation. Somebody's about to get an invitation. Go to the invitation, darling dears. Wherever it is. It's not someone skullduggerous that wants you dodo dead, darling dears. Go. Why? You'll be meeting on like-minded souls. More messages for the big cat. Look at this. Material harvest. Didn't I just say we are in the 2nd house at this moment in time? I've put the 48 laws of power into the astrological houses. So we have the energy of law number 2. Be cautious in who you trust, darling dears. Every friend has a better friend than you. Why? Because you are on the ascension path. The energy of law number 14. Spy when necessary, darling dears. Go into what? Spy mode. Why not? To find out she's naive. You also have the energy of what? Law 22. Right? Transform any weakness that you have at this moment in time into a strength. Remember I told you that. Yeah. And law number 40, avoid the free lunch. That's a multiple of 2, isn't it? Because you are in your spiritual power, darling dears. Major arcana, darling dears. And it also speaks about you having a foot between 2 worlds. People, the way you see things, darling dears, is not the way other people sees them. Some people are materially driven, darling dears, but you are being gifted with material gain. Why? Because it's the world we live in. And this is a new beginning for you. These 2 buildings at the background there, it's like Boaz and Jashin for completion and beginning, darling dears. You're about to begin something new. And again, it's telling you to what? Be drama free. We've gone from the 9 to the 8. Yeah, look, energy of the Empress. Listen, I can't make it up. Didn't we have the feminine energy coming out already on the abundance? This is you, what? A new level of enlightenment that's coming towards you, darling dears. Major arcana, divine has a hand in your life. Major arcana. And it's on the 2 again. Listen, bestie, oi, I can't make it up. You're going to get a lot of, some of you, as I said, somebody's going to be getting pregnant around the April time, around the solar eclipse in Aries, darling dears. But it's for you to what? Go forward, darling dears. There's going to be many people that's going to try and come back to you, right? Because of the level of wisdom you've gained, darling dears. It also speaks about you being a timeless being, whatever that means to someone. Okay. But the energy of the Empress also speaks about you knowing your worth. This is, if you're a mother or father, you're extremely nurturing. It's about you being blessed with abundance, because the Empress is Venus energy, darling dears. Somebody's about to buy a home, something, or yeah, a home or a vehicle. We already saw the Chariot. Okay. But it's about you being gifted with tangible comforts on this Malkuth, so that you can still it'll be the least of your worries, darling dears. It won't be a worry at all. Why? Because you was meant to spread the word of your ascension, how you overcame, and give strength to others. I told you, you are a spiritual being having a human experience. I've told you this many times, bestie. But it's abundant season for you, darling dears. 9 of, you must be like this. Yeah, because you spent enough time like this. Divine wants to gift onto you. Clarify. Look! A new level of awareness, darling dears. I can't make it up. 4 major arcana out of the 5 cards that I've laid. It also speaks about the magician is oh gosh, come on, case. I'm having nothing but brain farts today, darling dears. The magician is air as well as Mercury energy, darling dears. Mercury rules what? Gemini and Virgo. It's like you're getting a message to let you know that this brain fog, this confusion that you've got in your mind at this moment is all part of your ascension process, darling dears. Because of what you let go of. You sat down many things, darling dears. Many people. What did I say? On the 7 again. The spiritual downloads of it all, darling dears. The crown chakra is the frequency of 963. I'm suggesting that you play this at night time when you're sleeping, darling dears, in order to what? Get those downloads one way or the other. This is a connection to the divine and a new level of wisdom and enlightenment which is being gifted onto you. It also speaks about you being in deep connection with your higher self, darling dears, because of the things that you let go. Yeah, I can't make it up. The solitude. Listen, this is all major look. Can you see? You can't? Let me turn them around. Move this back. This is how they came out, darling dears. I can't make it up. And then Mitch is trying to kill your vibe, sending lots of negative energy. But it's boomerang season at this moment in time. Yeah. Crown chakra on your power, darling dears. And the solitude. This is the hermit. You learned a lot of things in your solitude. You've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana, as well as the crown chakra, the epitome of what? Connection to the Most High, darling dears. Never doubt your abilities, and never doubt that you have what? Ancestral protection. 64 souls you can call in at any time. You don't need to know their names. They know your soul. That is the most important thing. Base of the deck. I can't make it up. Wow. This is spiritual ascension, darling. There's confirmation for someone. Look, on the 6, abundance again. OMG. This is about a seed you sown, darling dears. You are about to see it come into fruition. This is what? I can't make on this particular deck. Material and spiritual, what? Prosperity, darling dears. I've just said it, and look, the cards are coming out that way. Wowzers. Split the deck. Listen, Linda. This is spiritual ascension. You are upgrading, darling dears, in every way, and divine is going to give you everything you need in order to make it comfortable, because you have to be in the position to what? Enlighten and uplift others. You were sent as a volunteer to help wake up those on this Malkuth, darling dears. Wow. Oh my God. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 major arcana out of the 21. Many things are going to come and try and confuse you, darling dears. Divine is telling you to choose wisely. And look, 2 birds, the energy of the 2. Listen to your intuition, your discernment, darling dears. All answers come from within. If you need to take a break, you take that break, darling dears. But know that this brain fog is all part of your ascension. Everything you left behind was meant to be left where they are. Look at all of this major arcana. It's absolutely beautiful. Can you see? Absolutely. This is the best, one of the best readings I've ever done. You've been on a difficult journey, darling dears, but everything was in the word. And where was the word? In the books, the knowledge that you acquired, darling dears. You became keyboard gangsters. You lived in your truth. This is why the opportunity in the universe is opening up for you. This person is standing on a scale of being judged and not found lacking, darling dears, because you are living according to your truth, right? These fertile ideas are coming down for you, darling dears. And the biggest one is to separate yourself from situations that no longer serve you. People underestimated your gangster, darling dears. But you have to remember, you was underestimated by the feeble-minded. They wasn't meant to share the same space as you. You have the badass alchemist ways, darling dears. The magician energy also speaks about continues to direct your attentions. The magician energy is also saying your intellect. You have the intellect. You are extremely resourceful. And what? As above, so below. As you think it, so it will manifest in your life, darling dears. Wow. I've never seen a read like that before, darling dears. Never. Dare I pull another card? I dare. Why? Because I'm a big cat. This is spiritual ascension. Okay. I just said this too shall pass, darling dears. What's this? Yeah. If you're going through the conflict and confusion, I said, as of the brain fog, of people sending the negative energy, not wanting you to what? Take that final leap of faith, darling dears. Yeah. It's going to be over. And it goes on at 8. Listen. Material wealth, darling dears. Blessings, moving on from situations. This is represented by the 8 of Pentacles. Yeah. And again, another major arcana. That's 9 major arcana out of 20. It's 22 major. Yeah, 22. And it's the what? The High Priestess. Listen to your intuition, because a doorway is being opened for you, darling dears. This is like you having a foot in both worlds, being able to what? Live on this 3D, but with a 5D capability, darling dears. Divine is telling you to choose your direction wisely. Again, second time this card has come out. And we have 2 7s on the tableau, darling dears. 2 7s is what? This is you to... Divine doesn't want you to be so hard on yourself, darling dears. All these things that you've experienced, yes, you're going to laugh at them one day. Maybe you can't laugh now, but at this moment in time, it's all about your ascension, because everything is about to be, every wish, every want, every desire that you've had, because you stood in your truth, darling dears, and walked your own path, is about to be granted unto you. Wow. Wow. Let me get one more card, then I'm out of here. To get great. This is confirmation of your... What fell into my lap? Healing, darling dears. The healing and transformation that you are meant to bring to others, not just to yourself. Been seeing so many sevens, darling dears. The energy of the seven, it speaks about continuing to what? Look inwards and ask yourself what you really want. Don't you see the hands telling you to choose wisely? We've got earth energy, and we've also got the mystic star. Ask the element of earth for grounding, stability, strength in times of chaos, harmony in the home, and what? Great friendships, darling dears. And again, the healing fell out. Your true soul tribe is about to find you, darling dears. This is going to be the link up of all link ups, the mother load, darling dears. This is so beautiful. I daren't touch another thing. Some of you are in a position, going to be put in a position as a whistleblower, darling dears. And you're going to have to step out in faith. Because most of the whistleblowers in the past, darling dears, they don't make it. But you will have the protection of your 64 ancestors. Anything that you find that you're intuitively guided to research, darling dears, until the wheels fall off, that is the information that you have to put out there. You are a light worker, star seed, and this is your confirmation. On that note, I drops me mic to love to my Teesprings, my Patreon, or my TikToks, where I also upload videos. And as I always say, don't get smoked. And don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. Namaste. Big cat wave. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat, cat. Cat, cat. There's a bit of a way to go yet, big cat. Don't give up and don't look back. Remember Lot's wife. Divine has come through for you today to give you the confirmation. Keep going, darling dears. Live in your truth. These are all sigils. Whichever one stands out to you the most, you draw it. Keep it on your person until what? The new moon solar eclipse in Aries. Burn it under the energy of that new moon, darling dears. Remember I told you that. Can you see it? On that note, I drops me mic. Big cat wave.
How you came to be is no longer a mystery. Black sheep is your birthright. It's code for the one who brings the light. I bet if there's a crack, you don't fall back. Remember who you are. No rest for the wicked with their skullduggery. The use spell workers' projection to send out envy, hate, and jealousy. You are the prototype, your ancestors champion. They shield you and send back those spiritual attacks. You are divinely protected from the dummy bats. Yeah. Big cat, the most high, got your back. He sits high and looks low, so don't get smoked or smoke yourself. Big cat moving silence. Only time you speak is to say checkmate.